After declaring it would not ban political ads like Twitter has done, Facebook appears to be backing down a bit, acknowledging their powerful social media platform has the potential to alter the outcome of the election. So they are taking the not-so-bold step of declining to take new political ads in the week leading up to Election Day. From the beginning, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has been consistent. He is not in the business of telling people what is true or false.
I don't think that Facebook or internet platforms in general should be arbiters of truth.
And he's been consistent about drawing the line.
If you're going to do something that's going to cause violence, or if you're saying that something is a cure to a disease that has been proven to be a cure, but it's not, we'll take that down no matter who says that.
But many critics claim Facebook already caused harm, allowing bots and algorithms to influence the outcome of the 2016 election. So now they are taking a small action and won't accept any new political ads in the week leading up to the election. And that's not all.
Have you ever just wanted to pull the plug on Facebook and Instagram? Just delete your account, even just for a few days.
And now Facebook will pay you to do it as part of a study on how the site affects the election.
They expect between 200,000 to 400,000 participants.
Facebook will pay participants up to $120 to deactivate their accounts in the weeks leading up to the election in order to minimize the spread of disinformation. Oh, and one final political move on Facebook's part. If any candidate tries to claim victory before official results are in, Facebook will direct users to Reuters. Put a smiley face on that. You know, the thing that gets me the most about this is it's not the political ads that are affecting the outcome of the election so much as it is these fake news websites that are just prolific, and then these cut and paste algorithms that are, you know, with all kinds of crazy. That's how that whole, you know, Pizzagate thing got going. So, I mean, not taking political ads 1 week before, what's that going to do?
This is so inadequate on so many ways. First of all, November 3rd is not Election Day anymore. It's the last day on which you can vote. Tens of millions of people will have voted by October 27th when the ad ban goes into effect for the final week. So you start with that. Then, as you say, they're doing nothing about political content that isn't advertising. And that's what's really the problem, because it gets boosted by the algorithm in order to keep you riled up and angry so that you'll stay on the site. This also does nothing about all the different kinds of toxic conversations that are taking place in Facebook groups. Now, part of me says this is freedom of speech, and maybe we ought to just leave Facebook alone. But the way that they have allowed groups to weaponize this speech through algorithms, through the bot-driven traffic, really puts it in a different category. And this just isn't going to make much of a difference.
I mean, maybe I can volunteer to get paid by Facebook to not use the site, because I've been kind of wanting to do that anyway. Honestly, like Dan, I've been trying to think of an analogy that works here, and I thought about whack-a-mole, and I think it maybe is even more trying to catch a fish with your bare hands. It's just such a slippery thing in terms of, you know, any rule that Facebook puts down about content, a content creator or bot or algorithm factory will find some way to work around it. It's just impossible from the top down to end or squash any kind of misinformation. I think the answer really has to be, and I don't know quite how you do this, but to train users of Facebook to get a certain level of media literacy among the people who are using Facebook so that you can recognize when information is questionable, understand the need to seek out alternative sources, you know, have that little red light going off in your head when something seems either too good or too bad to be true. I think it's the user. The onus is going to have to be on the user at some point in this democracy.
Yeah, I think you make a good point, Joanna. I do think that it's a fool's errand for them to believe that they can somehow insulate people in the 2 weeks, which, Dan, you point out is not at all true, that somehow people will be in a bubble and everything that they have learned, every bias or prejudice that they had before that will somehow be erased. That's absolutely absurd. I do find it interesting is the question, what are the researchers trying to get at in in getting people not to be on social media, on Facebook and Instagram for that period of time. I guess it could be up to 6 weeks. What are they measuring? Do they think, will these people sleep better? Will they be less bigoted? I really wonder.
They won't spread disinformation. That's what they think.
What do you think?
They won't spread disinformation.
Well, that may be, but they also might have spread good information. I don't know what they're after. But I do think it's a healthy thing for us to turn this off periodically.
So I think the researchers are doing something else. I think they are attempting to look at what is the impact, both writ large and small, on any of these ads, any of the sharing, any of all of that. And they just had to pick a time period. Now, is it the best? No. But as has happened in the past, and we'll see if it happens this year, is usually the week running up to it, the ads get more frenetic, they get more nasty, all of that. So whether or not that has impact on folks remains to be seen in this environment, because now everybody's online all the time. So it's a little bit different this go round. So I'm not quite sure. But I think any information that we can get from a scientific viewpoint about how people take in information last minute versus over a period of, let's 6 weeks, going up to a fixed time for an event, it would be interesting to find out. Having said that, we are now in a DVR election, as Dan has said. So I can, vote whenever I want to, and likely will many weeks before the election have done so. And so that means that, you're not getting a full response from all of the people who might decide to take part in this experiment. It'll remain to be seen, but I think it's interesting. Now, as for getting rid of the ads, I will say that's ridiculous.
All right.
That's just stupid.